Hi Subchicks and Subblokes. Today I wanted to share some of the different techniques I've discovered to help clean and dry paddleboards after use. Cleaning your paddleboard after use is an important way to maintain the longevity of the board. By looking after our paddleboards, we can ensure that we can enjoy using them for as long as possible. Paddleboards can be quite expensive to purchase, so it's well worth the extra effort to protect them from avoidable damage. Some of these techniques that I'm going to cover today may seem pretty self-explanatory, but I'll cover them anyway, along with which situations they work best in, so you can take any extra gear along and be prepared. The easiest way to dry your paddleboard is to simply let nature do its thing and let it dry off in the sun for 10 minutes or so after each paddle. This can help ensure that the fabric handles of inflatable paddleboards get a chance to start drying out too, but more on that later. This works best after a freshwater paddle. If you're short on time, the next easiest way to dry your paddleboard down is with a towel. I usually take a beach towel for this purpose. Drying your board down with a towel means that you can start packing it away immediately. You can also dry your fins, leg rope and paddle this way too. Again, this is best done after a freshwater paddle or if you intend to rinse it once you get home. Often when we get to the edge of the water after our sub session, we can find debris from the water and surrounding area get stuck onto our boards, such as leaves, grass or sand. In these cases, I quite often let the board air dry and brush it down with a hand brush afterwards. This was particularly easy when we were travelling in our camper van, as we had one with us at all times. If you encounter mud as you come ashore, one way you can clean this off before packing your sup up is to use a handheld shower head to rinse the board down. For more stubborn dirt, you can also use a hand brush to give it a good scrub and rinse. Alternatively, you can carry a collapsible bucket with you in your car and just use the fresh lake or loch water to rinse your board down. You can rinse your leg rope, fins and paddle down this way as well, or rinse them in the lake or loch water if it's clean and not salty. Some places which are frequented by paddlers will have a washdown space available to help reduce the transmission of blue-green algae. This makes rinsing your board after each use really easy. We've found there are a few of these places in Australia along designated paddle trails. If you find your board isn't coming clean after a brush and rinse, you can use a sup cleaner, inflatable boat cleaner or a gentle detergent. However, this is best done away from natural water sources and something I would wait until I got home to do. However, when we moved to our one-bedroom flat in Glasgow, we didn't have an area outside. Fortunately, we had since purchased inflatable boards which made cleaning them in a small space a lot easier. We would dry them down as best as we could after our sup session and roll them up into their backpacks to transport home to clean. Once you're home, if you have a bathtub, you can let your paddleboard slightly unfurl and pop it into the bath, where you can sugar and roll it in the water until it has gotten a good rinsing. Pop your leg rope, paddle and fins in too, then let the water out of the bath and leave it all to drain. Alternatively, if you only have a shower, again allow your paddleboard to slightly unfurl to expose all the surfaces and rinse down in the shower with the shower head, along with your fins, leg rope and paddle. Leave it all in the shower to drain. After both the bath and shower rinsing, I like to let the board sit slightly unfurled on a beach towel to minimise the amount of drips. After a couple of hours, you can then blow the board up and find a nice spot for it to sit until the handles dry fully. Hallways are good for this if you have one. Alternatively, we found the high ceilings in our tiny flat allowed us to stand our boards on end. As inflatable paddleboards usually have some form of fabric handles and elastic, it's a good idea to let them dry fully before packing your board away to ensure they don't get smelly or worse still perish over time. I especially like to ensure that I rinse my paddleboard down after using it in salt water, even if it still seems clean. So So those are the different techniques that I've used on my paddleboards to clean and dry them after use, but I'm sure there are many others. Which of these techniques work best for you? Do you have a different way of cleaning your SUP? Leave a comment below to help share your knowledge with our paddling community. While you're at it, please like and subscribe, share with your paddleboarding mates, and if you like this video, you'll enjoy the next one too. See you soon.